Hello friends, in the previous video we have studied the definition part of the pre-formulation. So it is clear now that the pre-formulation means study of physical as well as chemical properties of the drug before designing of the dosage form. So before designing of the dosage form, when we start to make any dosage form, we have to study physical and chemical properties of the drug to make safe, effective and stable dosage form. So the aim is to make safe, stable and effective dosage form. So we have to study various type of the properties of the drug to make such type of the system. So now we will study one by one that what are the various properties that affect the design of the dosage form. So simply first we take like organoleptic properties. In the organoleptic properties there will be taste, color and odor. So what is the taste? What is the taste of the drug? The taste of the drug is bitter or the taste of the drug is pleasant. That will affect the formulation strategy. For example, when we are going to make mouth dissolving tablet, MDT, mouth dissolving tablets, so the taste of the drug will affect the formulation strategy. For example, if we have bitter drug, so for that bitter drug we have to add some sweeteners, we have to add some flavors to make a palatable type of the formulation. So that's affecting the taste of the drug that comes under the organoleptic properties, that is affecting the design of the dosage form, that is affecting the formulation strategy. So these are the properties that comes under the pre-formulation that will affect the design of the formulation. So the taste must be improved in that case, and the taste, there are some example in which we can also improve the taste by taste masking or by making some insoluble derivatives. For example, chloramphenicol, the drug chloramphenicol, that is bitter in nature, and when we make that drug chloramphenicol to chloramphenicol palmitate, that will become insoluble derivative, and the bitter taste of the drug that can be masked. So by making chloramphenicol palmitate, we can mask the taste of the drug that is bitter in nature. So we have to check, we have to study these properties of the drug for making a good type of the dosage form, a good formulation, a safe, effective and stable formulation. So there is another property along with the organoleptic properties, that is physical description. Physical description, as the name show, the nature of the drug. The drug is solid in nature or drug is liquid in nature. That will also affect the formulation strategy. For example, if the drug is liquid in nature and if we have to make solid dosage form of that drug, so we have to check that point, we have to review, we have to do something to make a solid dosage form of a liquid drug. So we can make we cannot make hard gelatin capsule. In that case, we can make soft gelatin capsule. For example, vitamin E, in the market there are available soft gelatin capsule for such type of the drugs. And there is one more strategy, that we can change that liquid drug into solid drug, into solid salt. For example, drug scopolamine. Scopolamine is a liquid drug, but we can make the salt of that liquid drug scopolamine, and we can convert into scopolamine hydrobromide, and that is a solid salt, and we can make a solid type of the dosage form. So these are the properties, these are the various physical and chemical properties of the drug that will affect the design of the dosage form. When we are going to make any formulation, when we are going to make dosage form, then we have to study all the properties of the drug that is related to the drug, physical as well as chemical properties of the drug, to make a good type of the dosage form. One more property, physical property, that is particle size. So again, that is important point. All the points under that pre-formulation, all are important. So the particle size of the drug that affect the design of the dosage form, that affect the formulation strategy. For example, we know that if we reduce the particle size of the drug, there will be increase in the surface area. So as the particle size reduce, the surface area will enhance, and that enhanced surface area, that will result in the enhanced dissolution. So dissolution will enhance in that case. So we have to study the particle size of the drug, and there is one example for the drug, that is griseofulvine. In that drug, when we reduce the particle size, there will be faster dissolution and faster absorption of the drug. We have to reduce the dose of such type of the drugs. In that case, when we are reducing the particle size, there will be enhancing of the surface area, there will be enhancing of the dissolution, there will be enhancing of the bioavailability also. So we have to reduce the dose. जो dose है, we have to reduce that dose of the drug. Otherwise there will be toxicity, because we are not caring about the particle size of the drug, we are not caring the various type of the properties of the drug. So we have to check, we have to study the particle size, and that is for the hydrophilic drug, and there will be opposite condition for the hydrophobic drug. In the hydrophobic drug, when we reduce the particle size, there will be repulsion and there will be slower dissolution. So we have to check the nature of the drug. The drug is hydrophilic or drug is lipophilic, what is the particle size of the drug, because if we will not look that point, we are not caring about the particle size, so we will not able to identify the dissolution, we will not able to identify the bioavailability, the how the drug will getting absorbed. So there may be faster absorption, there may be slower dissolution, and there may be slower absorption. So we have to check that particle size. So all the properties we have to study. One more property, that is flow. How the flow of the drug, because in the industrial scale the material will come from the hopper and there is filling line, and then there will be a making of the dosage form. So the flow must be proper. For example, if there is obstacle in flow, and if we are making a tablet, the material is coming in dye cavity, and then there is punch, that will compress the tablet. So if, for example, if there is a obstacle in the flow and that dye cavity is not filled properly with the medicament, with the formulation material, so if it is not filled properly, then we will not able to make a good type of the tablet. For example, if the filled dye cavity is less, so there will be no proper compression of the tablet, there will be no proper hardness, the required hardness of the tablet, that will not be achieved. There will be weight variation, the required weight that we want to impart in the tablet, that will not be achieved because that dye cavity is not filled properly. So flow, we are talking about the flow properties. So that point is important point for making any formulation. So flow must be proper, and that can be determined by angle of repose, Carr's index, and Hausner's ratio. So these are the 3 points in which we can find out the flow of the formulation, flow of the drug, because we are here to talking about the pre-formulation, so we will here discuss about the drug only. So in the angle of repose, there is determination of theta, that is tan inverse H by R. So we pour the material from the funnel. That is a simple experiment, and there will be formation of heap. So when we are pouring the material from the funnel, there will be formation of heap, and that formed heap, the height of that heap and radius, that will be taken in that R radius, and that is the height of the heap formed. So from that we can calculate the theta value, and if the theta value is around 20, then it will be considered as a good flow. If the theta value is more, then it will be considered as poor flow. One more parameter, that is Carr's index and Hausner ratio. So in the Carr's index, there is formula, that is tap density minus bulk density upon tap density into 100. So what is that tap density and bulk density? So these are the again simple parameters. We can take 2 cylinders or 1 cylinder. If we are adding 50 gram of the powder, of any powder, for that we want to measure the flow properties. So we will add 50 gram of the powder in that cylinder, and we will determine the volume. What is the volume of that filled cylinder? So for the density we can calculate mass upon volume. So if the 50 gram is the weight of the powder, and suppose volume is also 50 ml, so the density will be 1. So that will be the poured density or also known as bulk density. That is a pour density because just we are pouring the powder material in that cylinder and we are measuring the volume and we are comparing it with the mass. So density equal to mass by volume. So density will be 1 in that case for the bulk density. For the tap density, we will tap that cylinder up to the minimum level, means the powder that is poured in that cylinder, the air spaces, any air spaces or any void spaces, that will be removed just by tapping. We will tap that cylinder up to the minimum level, means जो powder जो है that comes to that level when we are tapping. Then if we continue that tapping, then the powder level will come to that level and up to the minimum level we will take. So suppose if we are tapping and that comes to a level of 40, then again we will calculate density. Density equals to mass upon volume. Mass will be same, that is 50 gram, and volume, that is 40. So we can calculate from that. So there will be, obviously there will be more than 1.2. So from that we can calculate the Hausner ratio by comparing the tap density and bulk density. Also we can calculate Carr's index. So formula is here, tap density minus bulk density upon tap density into 100. So these value, that tap density value and bulk density value will be put into that formula and we can find out the Carr's index. So Carr's index, there are some standard values of the Carr's index. If the value of the Carr's index is around 5 to 15, then it is considered as a good flow. If the value is more than 40, 30, then there is a poor flow and we have to improve the flow in that case. In the Hausner ratio, that is simple. Tap density upon bulk density. So if the tap density is 1.2 and bulk density is 1, then the value will be 1.2. So again there are some standards in the Hausner ratio. If the value of that Hausner ratio is less than 1.25, so it is considered as good flow. If the value is more than 1.5, it is considered as poor flow, and if the value lies between 1.25 to 1.5, so we can add some glidants. We can enhance the properties, flow properties of such powder, such material. So flow properties, we can improve the flow if there is a poor flow. So we have to check all the parameters that is related to the drug for making a good type of the formulation. One more important property, that is melting point. Melting point of the drug we must study before making any dosage form, because melting point, there are two reasons. So by the because there are some process when we are making formulation, when we are making dosage form, there are some process in which heat is generated. So that heat, generated heat, because in the compression in the mixing, in the particle size reduction, there will be generation of the heat, and that generated heat may melt the drug, or in other words we can say the drug may be degraded. So we have to check the melting point of the drug before making formulation. If the melting point is less, and suppose in the formulation there will be generation of heat and the drug melting point is less, we can change the formulation strategy. We can use some alternative techniques to make the dosage form, because we don't want to melt the drug. So we will change the formulation strategy in that case. So melting point, again, all the properties that we are studying in the pre-formulation that are important to make a good type of the formulation. There is one more advantage of the melting point, that the melting point is also used to check the purity of the drug. In the case of impurity, there will be changing of the melting point, and there will be reducing, always there will be reducing, that is also known as melting point depression. So because there will be no integrity between the atoms, between the molecules, when there is impurity, so the melting point is reduced. So we can find out is there any impurity in the drug, because by checking the melting point, if the melting point is reducing as compared to the standard melting point, we can identify, yes, there may be some impurity. So all the properties, the physical properties and chemical properties. In the next video we will study some more physical properties and chemical properties of the drug that affect the design of the dosage form. So before making any formulation, before making any dosage form, for any dosage form, we have to study physical and chemical properties of the drug that is related to the drug, to make a, we can say in the simple language, good type of the formulation. And when we are talking about the good, it means the formulation must be stable, the formulation must be effective, and the formulation must be safe. So for making a good type of the formulation, we have to check all the properties, physical properties and chemical properties of the drug that will affect the design of the dosage form. So in the next video we will study some more properties. So request to all of you to listen that video 2 times, 3 times, so up to the full satisfaction. For any query you can send me message. Thank you.